You are probably taking omega-3 supplements because you want to protect your heart, support your brain, or reduce inflammation. It is one of the most widely purchased supplements in the world. But there is a problem that most people never think to check. And it has to do with what happens to fish oil when it sits on a shelf, in a shipping container, or on your kitchen counter. Take your omega-3 bottle right now. Find a pair of scissors and cut open one of the capsules. Take a careful smell of the oil inside. If it smells like fresh fish or the sea, you are probably fine. But if it smells like old cooking oil, paint thinner, or something rotten, what you are holding is rancid fish oil. And rancid fish oil is a different substance from the omega-3 you were trying to take. The reason omega-3 oils go bad so easily comes down to chemistry. EPA and DHA, the two long-chain omega-3 fatty acids responsible for most of the health benefits, contain multiple double bonds within their carbon chains. EPA has 4, DHA has 5. The carbon atoms sitting between these double bonds are structurally vulnerable, meaning they readily lose electrons and form free radicals when exposed to oxygen, light, or heat. Once a single oxidation event is triggered, it sets off a chain reaction. One oxidized molecule pulling neighboring healthy molecules into oxidation as well. This process accelerates exponentially. The antioxidants added to most supplements, typically vitamin E and rosemary extract, slow this process down. But they cannot stop it entirely. As oxidation progresses, the oil first produces primary oxidation products, called lipid peroxides. These are unstable and continue breaking down into secondary oxidation products, a class of compounds that includes aldehydes such as HHE and melandialdehyde. HHE is chemically similar to HNE, an omega-6 oxidation product, with well-documented cell toxicity and the ability to damage DNA. Animal studies have shown that HHE injected intraperitoneally causes necrotizing inflammation, and intravenously causes liver damage. Melandialdehyde has been shown to cause DNA mutations, thyroid tumors in rats when ingested, and skin cancer with topical application. These are the compounds that accumulate in a rancid fish oil capsule. The scale of the problem in the commercial market is striking. A study that analyzed 72 popular omega-3 brands over 6 years found that 45% tested positive for rancidity. A separate study of 171 over-the-counter omega-3 products found that 50% failed at least one of the 3 internationally recognized oxidation thresholds. In New Zealand and Australia, 83% of products exceeded the voluntary safety limit for primary oxidation. In South Africa, 73% of products were classified as rancid. Across global markets, surveys consistently suggest that between 30 and 50% of commercially available omega-3 supplements exceed the recommended oxidation standards. The international quality standard most commonly used is the TOTOX value, which stands for total oxidation. It is calculated by doubling the peroxide value and adding the anisidine value. The voluntary safety threshold recommended by the global omega-3 industry is a TOTOX score below 26. A stricter program, the International Fish Oil Standard Certification, sets the limit at 19.5. It is worth noting that even the 26 threshold was established based on palatability, meaning what is unpleasant to smell or taste, not on evidence of where health effects begin. There is currently no regulatory requirement in most countries obligating manufacturers to test or disclose oxidation levels in finished products. One of the most troubling aspects of this problem is that it often cannot be detected by smell or taste. Flavored omega-3 products, including lemon-flavored and orange-flavored varieties, are particularly problematic. The flavoring agents mask the rancid smell and taste entirely. The same studies that found high rates of rancidity also found that flavored products had significantly higher oxidation markers, on average, than unflavored capsules. Children's products, which are heavily flavored to improve palatability, showed the highest oxidation levels of any product category in one large North American study. These are the products given to the people who are most vulnerable. What does consuming rancid omega-3 actually do? The honest answer is that the long-term human evidence is still incomplete. In one controlled human trial, participants consumed fish oil with a TOTOX of 45 for 7 weeks, with no detectable acute change in inflammatory markers. This is sometimes cited to suggest the harm may be limited. However, that study did not measure oxidized LDL cholesterol, which is the compound associated with the formation of arterial plaques. Nor did it measure DNA damage markers, or run long enough to detect gradual changes. What scientists worry about is not immediate acute toxicity, but the cumulative effect of consuming these compounds month after month, year after year. Absorbed lipid peroxides are transported in LDL particles through the bloodstream. There is reason to believe that these ingested peroxides can accelerate the oxidation of LDL itself, and oxidized LDL is one of the central triggers of atherosclerosis. The person taking omega-3 to protect their arteries may be, in certain circumstances, doing the opposite. Beyond cardiovascular concerns, oxidized fatty acids activate inflammatory pathways at the cellular level, and may contribute to the chronic low-grade inflammation that underlies much of degenerative disease. There is also the question of effectiveness lost. Oxidized EPA and DHA are not the same molecules as fresh EPA and DHA. Their shape and chemical reactivity have changed. They cannot integrate properly into cell membranes, cannot bind to the receptors responsible for omega-3's anti-inflammatory effects, and cannot deliver the biological activity that makes omega-3 worth taking. Many researchers now suspect that the wildly inconsistent results from decades of omega-3 clinical trials may partly reflect the fact that the supplements used in those trials were already significantly oxidized. Of 107 omega-3 clinical trials reviewed in one analysis, only one reported the oxidation status of the supplement used. Here is what you can do right now. Cut open a capsule and smell the oil directly. Fresh omega-3 should smell like the sea or very close to neutral. A sharp, greasy, paint-like, or putrid odor means significant oxidation has occurred. Avoid flavored products when possible, since the flavoring makes quality impossible to assess by smell or taste alone. Choose opaque, light-blocking packaging rather than clear bottles. Store opened omega-3 in the refrigerator, away from heat and light. Try to use the product within the time frame suggested after opening. And always check how far the expiration date is when purchasing. The omega-3 molecule in its fresh, unoxidized form is genuinely beneficial. The science supporting EPA and DHA for heart health, brain function, and inflammation management is real. But that science assumes you are consuming intact, unoxidized molecules. Rancid fish oil is not fish oil anymore. It is something else, and it deserves the same attention you would give to any expired food product you pull out of your kitchen. The capsule looks the same either way. The smell tells a different story.